Today we are in the village of Horndon-on-the-Hill on the day of the annual feast and fair. I'm Gandalf. The Church of St. Peter and St. Paul, Horndon-on-the-Hill, is a Grade 1 listed building situated on top of a hill, possibly on the site of an old Saxon church. The present building dates from the 13th century. The walls are predominantly of Kentish ragstone and rubble with some brickwork, some of which are actually Roman. The windows and doors are dressed with Reigate and other limestones. The church takes its name from the apostles Peter and Paul, and the villagers celebrate their feast on the 29th of June with an annual fair granted by royal charter by King Edward I. The annual feast and fair on the last weekend in June was revived in 1974. An avenue of polled lime trees lead to the much restored 15th century porch. The church has a 13th century doorway. Over the north arcade are two clerestory windows, as old as the church. The nave, aisles and the chancel are largely unchanged over the last 700 years, and all show evidence of 13th century workmanship. The nave is separated from the aisles by 4 bays. Some columns are cylindrical, some hexagonal. Some have plain capitals, while others have decorated capitals with carvings of foliage. There were formerly extensive paintings visible on the columns and walls above the arcades, but now only small patches of colour remain. Overhead is an 18th century roof supported by 2 15th century king posts. The church is dominated by massive oak beams supporting the 15th century bell tower. There is a modern lectern on a brass dome. The floor of the nave consists mostly of memorials to members of local families of the 17th and 18th centuries. One of the memorials has a mistake on it. It shows the lady's age as 303 instead of 33. Horndon-on-the-Hill is twinned with Romagna, which is located in the Brittany area of France, and here is a Norman man-at-arms who has been sent over from there to make sure that everything in Horndon-on-the-Hill is in order. These houses fronting onto the high street are clad in typical white painted Essex weatherboarding. And as you can see from this shot, most of the older houses have this facade. And now for a typical British pastime, Moorish dancing, or as it's known today, Morris dancing. The Morris dancers are performing in the shadow of the Wool Market, an old 16th century place of trade for the wool merchants and others. And here, just outside the church, I noticed this old Renault. It's a French model. I don't know what year it was. It looks to be round about 1930, 40, something like that. I just missed the owner as he walked off in the direction of the Wool Market. Well, that's that for another year. Perhaps we'll see you here again next year. So for now, I'll say cheerio. Mind how you go now.